Hi, welcome to Eastgate. I'm Hannah, and today we have Andy Mason with us from New Zealand originally, but from Dream Culture in Bethel, along with his wife Janine, they are co-founders of Dream Culture. So can you just explain a little bit what Dream Culture is?
Yeah, sure. Great to be here. Dream Culture really is a movement, or we would say a culture. So it's not just dreaming, but the heart dreams. So not just night dreams, heart dreams. As a movement of igniting people to live from purpose so they become fully alive. But a culture of that. So what happened if it's not just me coming fully alive, but how do I gain the skills to better help others to tap into who are you, what are you made for, how do we help those dreams and desires become fully alive?
Cool. And it's not just dreams in our, like sleep dreams.
Correct.
It's kind of dreams for life.
Yeah.
And I'm very much a dreamer, kind of live in the dream world. And so I kind of always like, we could do this, we could do this, we could do this, kind of ideas, dreams. Yeah. Do you think is that a helpful thing sometimes when you're in the dream culture, or do you find that kind of hinders almost because it's kind of like firing everywhere? Do you kind of try and, when you're doing your training, do you try and kind of hone people in on what are their dreams that God's given them?
Yeah. No, not just the God dreams, because we tend to, especially if you grew up in a religious environment, you tend to classify things as spiritual and not spiritual, or this is God and this is not. And God doesn't do that. So he's like, this is everything. So he loves everything about you. So that we don't do. And the amazing thing is when you get this on this journey of beginning to tap into who you are and beginning to live that out, it's the journey. It's so much the journey. But your question around for yourself, you're a crazy ideas person. We could do this, we could do that. In dream culture, what we find is there's two kinds of people typically. Those that are like you, that if I say close your eyes and think of a aubergine elephant, you could probably do it. And then there's those that would say, oh, don't be stupid. There's no such thing. That's not realistic. And they come from more of a practical reality base. So for you, we would help you define things and rather have lots and lots of ideas. Let's just do something. Should we just do something? And then the others, we help them tap into that creative side that they have, but they dream in a different way. They dream more from, rather than say, just think of something, it's like, how many things can I think of? And this, and this, and this. The other category, maybe of people, would tend to more leverage from, remember a situation in your life where you felt really alive. Remember what that felt like. What were you doing? Who were you with? What was it about that situation that caused you to feel really alive? And so they can more reality based, more practical. So we work with both.
Cool. So for when we're thinking about dreams and things, like how do you know which dreams you actually should go for? Because like me, I could do so many things, and I'm sure there's loads of people who are like, well, I don't know which one I could do. What do we do? How do you practically suggest people hone in? Yeah. Like you said about looking back at how they feel alive and how they were feeling at that time, what were they doing? But have you got any more tips on how we can kind of hone a little bit?
Yeah, so that's for someone that's got that, I don't dream, I don't have dreams. Oh, remember back, and then we extrapolate that. So for you, you've got so many, you're almost paralyzed with ideas. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah.
So how do I take someone like Hannah and move her forward to doing something? So do you want to experiment?
Yeah. Okay,
so tell me some of the dreams. So give me three other things, three dreams that you'd want to, that are current ideas, and I don't know which one to start with.
Literally?
Yeah.
Okay. So
This is live. This is real.
So I could do catering.
Okay.
I wouldn't say teaching was a dream, but I could do teaching.
Yeah.
I could go travelling.
Yeah.
Or I could just stay at home with my children and look after my chickens and tend to my garden.
Yeah. And so obviously I'm not going to violate some core values in terms of you running away and leaving your children behind. So, but you've mentioned catering.
Yeah.
Should I become a teacher? Should I travel? Should I stay at home? Now, so what I do is let's take the stay at home thing off the table just to keep this really simple, because that would. But there's these three things. What do I do? Do I start a catering business? Or is that what you're thinking? Catering business?
Yeah.
Okay. For the purpose of this, start a catering, travel, or become a teacher. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Which one do I do? And so I could simply say on a scale of 1 to 10 for each of those. So for catering, for traveling, for teaching, how motivated do you feel for each? So a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is I feel highly motivated, I think about it, I feel like I'm going to explode with anticipation.
Yeah.
That would be a 10.
Okay.
Or 0, I don't really care.
Okay.
So for the first one, which was a catering business, scale of 1 to 10.
8.
8. Teaching.
6.
6. And traveling, was the travel?
Traveling, yeah. Probably just practically more like a 2.
Okay, so you don't feel passionate about it, really?
Oh no, I do, but practically with the children and stuff, it's just not.
Yeah. So that right there is a dream killer. Because you're jumping to, well, I couldn't because of this and this and this.
Uh-huh.
So we can deal with that later, but come back to how passionate and motivated do you feel about that one?
Probably 7.
Okay. So we said, I'd normally write these down, so I remember 8, 6,
yep,
and a 7.
Yeah.
So you said, okay, they're all fairly significant, but they're not. What would it take to make the catering one a 10? Help. Yeah. So if you had someone to help you, it'd be a 10 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, what would it take the teaching one to become a 10?
A really good pay packet.
Okay. See, so you can see in the process of this, you're realizing, oh, what would it take the travel one to be a 10?
Oh, I don't know. Too many things.
So there's lots of challenges in order to move forward with these, but you are passionate about it. The second one is, so one is how motivated or how significant is this to you, is another good question. This, and scale it on 1 to 10. Second one is, how easy would it be to get started on that dream on a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah.
So for the teaching, for the catering one?
Yeah, it's kind of already started, so it's going, but it's
so scale
slow.
of 1 to 10?
7.
7. Teaching? How easy would it be to get started?
Yeah, probably more like a 9.
Okay.
I am a teacher.
Oh,
so
well, that's
yeah,
information.
it's just getting back into it.
Okay. And then the third one was travelling?
Yeah.
Scale of?
3.
Okay. So, and then you could say, do you have the finances or the resources? So of those 3, which one is, do you have the resources to actually start? The point being, I've just walked through an activity with you that helps you recognise or identify, oh, this one's more important, and it's easy to start, or easier, and I can do it right now, and I've got the resources to do it. Let's just start on that one.
Yeah.
Now the other thing is, I could say, which one do you feel the life of God on, or the peace of God on, or the, just when you think about that, it just, you feel like the pleasure of God on that, and there's a sense of God smiling, you feel his pleasure, which could be a peace or an excitement or an anticipation. Yeah. So of those 3, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much God factor do you feel on it?
Yeah, mainly on the catering.
On the catering?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. So I could go back to teaching, but I'm not as passionate, or as a 9 in terms of ease to get going.
Yeah.
But it's only I think it was a 7 or a 6. It was a 6 on how passionate.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? Which one do you choose?
Catering. Oh, that's really good.
Was that pretty easy?
Good. So it's what motivates you? No, what was the second one?
So you can use different words, but you could say which one's most significant,
Okay.
or are you most passionate about? Because those two tend to go together.
Okay.
Then you could say how easy would it be to move forward with which is when I'm helping people choose. Why would you pick something that's really hard? Which do you feel that we can move forward?
Yeah.
The other one's resources. So, for example, I sat down with somebody similar to you, and it was a guy, and he had 3 business ideas. I'm just not sure which one to do. So I asked him these questions. Which one I feel most significant? Actually, it was just the first question. Which one do you feel most significant about? The first one, he goes, probably a 0 out of 10. I'm like, okay. What about the second one? He goes, and now we'd spent 30 minutes talking about these businesses and their ideas and how it works and what. So we spent all of this time, and he's done all of this research, and I come back to, okay, which one's most significant? First one's 0. Second one, 0. I said third one, out of 10, probably an 11. I'm like, you clown. Why are we even having this conversation? So it's just sometimes we need to take that and put it down, and it's amazing what happens when I actually then write something down or commit something or verbalize it with someone else.
Yeah.
So I'd say you could do that with anybody.
Yeah, and that's the same with the business, like kind of, I don't like using the secular world, that kind of idea, but that's kind of with people who are non-church and people who are church, because they're not you're not using Christian jargon there.
Correct.
So until you kind of said, what do you feel the peace of God about? I was kind of like, well, this is, I could just go into any business whatsoever. And it's amazing because it's drawing out what is inside of us, and ultimately God is inside of us. So it's kind of, it's the same.
And that's where we're the ones that have drawn the line. God hasn't. So I wouldn't say, which one do you feel the peace of God? Which one do you feel God on? I'd say, which one do you feel energy about?
Yeah.
Which one? So motivated is bringing up. Where do you feel life on? Where do you feel excitement? Where do you feel a peace?
Yeah.
Or is there any of those that you feel a hesitation? Is there a reason for that hesitation? And so there's so many questions like that you can use where you're actually incorporating very much who God is, His nature, His name, His ways, but not necessarily the language of church.
Yeah. Which is brilliant. That's great.